This kid ran a crazy summer hustle. His neighbor's name was Mr. Henderson.
I'm Mr. Henderson.
And he had just left for a 2-week camping trip, but he left his in-ground pool unattended. Most kids would sneak over for a quick dip, but this guy had a different idea. He turned his neighbor's backyard into a literal water park, and he charged every kid on the block $5 for a day pass. Step right up, water park day pass is $5. And people were paying. It was immediately a full-blown operation. There was a cooler full of sodas, there were folding chairs everywhere, and the front yard was a pile of bikes. And these two guys were by the gate, collecting $5 bills. On day 4, the party was at its peak. 15 kids in the backyard, cannonballs, Marco Polo. Some dude fired up Mr. Henderson's grill and was making hot dogs. Then, Mr. Henderson shows up.
What in God's name is going on back here?
You see, obviously, one of the other neighbors called Mr. Henderson to let him know what was going on. So he came back from his trip super early. Backyard was dead silent. But what Mr. Henderson did, nobody expected. You, come here.
Yes?
Listen, I'm going back camping, okay? You can stay here as long as you clean up every day, and by the time I get back, it needs to be spotless. You understand? Oh, yeah. Stay out of my house too, but have fun. And that was that. For the rest of the 2 weeks, those kids had the most fun they've ever had on a summer break. And yeah, that sounds awesome. Mr. Gene was a creepy teacher. Big guy, super weird energy, and he had bottles and bottles of Febreze behind his desk. And I guess he had a very strong nose as well, because he took it very personally when someone would come to class smelling bad. If he didn't like the way someone smelled, they would sit down and he would Febreze the air. Well, one day class started normally. He was teaching like normal.
The Industrial Revolution was one of the groups.
He locked eyes with this one kid. He didn't like what he smelled, so he grabbed the Febreze bottle and he marched right over to this kid.
Can I help you?
And Mr. Gene just sprayed over and over and over for like 15 seconds. This kid didn't know what to do, so he's just sitting there getting drenched in Febreze.
Please stop.
Smell better next time.
Turns around, goes to the front of the class, and begins teaching again like nothing happened. Crazy part is that teacher taught for another 5 years before he retired. I don't know how he wasn't fired. It's the first day of a new semester, and this teacher is having everybody in class give a personal story, one by one, and they had 10 minutes to think of one. Then each student comes up to give their 3-minute introduction speech. Normal stuff, but obviously people are panicking. But they came up with their stories, like summer jobs, broken bones, embarrassing vacations. Well, one girl instantly raises her hand. I'll go first. Okay, I like your enthusiasm, get on up here. She's confident and she is smiling. She walks to the front of the classroom. She starts talking about how her parents owned a retiring home, how they worked hard and built their business from the ground up. She said how the retirement home had these huge aquariums in the lobby filled with fish. The whole room's nodding. Well, that's sweet. This is a nice story. But then she says, yeah, me and my brother got bored one day, so we smashed the aquarium glass. People looked up like, what? Grabbed a fork from the kitchen. The teacher's like, and stabbed each fish one by one. The class is horrified. She then smiles and says, so yeah, that's my story. Nobody clapped, the teacher had no idea what to say, and nobody talked to her for the rest of the year. Yeah, I wouldn't either. She sounds insane. Oh, great. There's a hole in my shoes. Hey, Bill, can you get me a pair? Bill! Yeah, what's up, boss? Can you get me a pair? A pair of what? I don't have time for this, okay? I'm texting you the address. This is my usual spot, all right? Please be back quick. Okay. This should be the place. Mr. Stevens, you saucy dog. Yeah, how can I help you? Yeah, I'll take a pair of your finest twins, please. What? Yeah, I'll take your finest pair of twins. This is a shoe store. Oh, a pair of shoes. You guys should really fix your sign. A news team was interviewing this man live on the air when somebody that he owed money to showed up.
First and foremost, we are used to stay outside, like this one. It end up.
I guarantee he paid him his money after that. This person saw the craziest thing in a waiting room. This guy took his dad to a doctor's appointment at the hospital. His dad was taken to go get some x-rays. So while he was waiting, he went to the vending machine. That's when he heard some commotion. He turned around to see what was going on, and that's when he saw a moose standing in the waiting room staring at the receptionist.
It's looking at me. It's looking at me.
Security was called, and when they got there, they obviously did not know what to do. Everyone just stood around for about 10 to 15 minutes, until the moose decided to walk out of the building on its own. Crazy things teachers said to students. The guy that shared the story said that when he was in 4th grade, his teacher told him something that freaked him out. You see that, Kyle? That's the sun, right? Is that the sun? Yes, that's the sun. Well, the crazy thing about the sun is, Kyle, by the time you turn 25, the sun's gonna explode, and it's gonna kill you and kill everyone you know. As a 4th grader, he had never thought about death before, but after that conversation, he was having an existential crisis, and his dad saw him crying. What's wrong, man?
My teacher said that when I turn 25, the sun is gonna explode and kill me and everyone that I know. Is that true, Dad?
She told you that? No, don't worry about it, buddy, okay? It's not gonna happen. Yeah, I'm sorry to be calling you so late, but did you tell my kid that the sun is gonna explode and kill everybody when he turns 25? Yeah? Don't do that. And the next day when that kid went to school, she apologized. He will regret this for the rest of his life. This guy's sister was murdered 3 years ago. 2 weeks before her murder, she left him a voicemail. Call me back when you can, but I'm scared to go home right now, and I've been scared for a while, and I think someone's after me. But I was wondering if I could please come and live with you, please. He lived across the country from his sister. Well, his sister had a history of substance abuse, and he thought she was calling for money again. Well, he didn't really want her around his newborn baby, so he never called her back. Then he heard the news that she was killed. He could have stopped it. If he would have booked her a flight and let her live with him, this would have never happened. He has held this guilt ever since. And his mom says that she will never forgive him. This girl is the worst. The guy that shared the story said it was halfway through his freshman year of high school. He didn't have any friends and he was bullied fairly often. He sat in the back of every single class he was in and he stayed quiet most of the time. That's why he was confused when suddenly this popular girl started talking to him. Steven, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm Kayla. After about a week of flirting with him, she asked for his number. A few days after that, they were walking down the hallway together when she led him to a stairwell that was rarely used. Come with me. Okay. When they got in the stairwell, he just stood there, and then she leaned in for a kiss. But right before they made contact, she spit in his face. Oh, God! That's when a bunch of her friends popped out of nowhere. What a loser! Like I'd ever kiss you. This is hilarious. This person said that when he was 6 years old, he was hanging out with his little 3-year-old brother when he told him something to mess with him. Hey, you see that? Yeah? That's a TV. And you see all those people on the TV? Yeah. Well, you see, those people are actually stuck inside the TV. They got sucked in because they were sitting too close to the screen. What? For a month after that, whenever the TV was turned on, this kid would lose his mind, trying to get as far away as he can from the TV. Come on, kids, let's watch a movie. The parents eventually found out why their youngest son was terrified of the TV, and it took a very long time to get him to not be scared. Black markets kids ran in their schools. This kid went to a military high school, and Wi-Fi wasn't allowed in the dorms. Now, the only place on campus that had Wi-Fi was the student center. So this dude got a brilliant idea. He bought a Wi-Fi repeater and set it up next to his window. That's when he realized he got just enough signal from the student center to boost it to his entire dorm. And this is how his business started. He charged people $10 a week to keep the password. He even kept an Excel sheet with everyone's device on there, and if they paid or not. Payment was due every Thursday because that was the day they would get their allowance from their parents. And if they didn't pay by Friday, he would blacklist their devices. At one point, he was making $200 a week, and he was never caught. This babysitter is so mad. This person is 20 years old and she's a babysitter. One night, she was babysitting this one family's kids while the parents went out. The mom left money on the counter for them to order pizzas and breadsticks. The pizza and the breadsticks were delivered. They all ate, she had a few slices, and that was that. When the parents came home that night, they asked her how it went. Okay, so how did everything go? I hope they didn't give you too much trouble. Oh, everything went perfect. The kids were well behaved. That pizza place, though, was so good. I've never gotten food from there before. What? When she said that about the pizza, the mom got puzzled. She then asked, why did you eat the kids' dinner? I only had 2 slices and a breadstick. I think that's okay, right? No, not really okay. I didn't expect to have to feed you as well. Don't eat our family's food, please. Okay, have a good night. What? The worst Christmas gifts ever. This woman says that one Christmas when she was about 25, she went home for the holidays. It was Christmas Day and she was with her entire family opening up presents. Her aunt hands her a gift. And this is for Carla, from me, your aunt. Oh, thank you so much, Aunt Jenny. She opens up the gift and she was surprised to see that it was baby clothes. A lot of baby clothes. The thing is, she wasn't pregnant. She was single. She didn't look like she was pregnant, and she had never talked about having children. So she couldn't understand why her aunt would give her baby clothes. But she just went along with it. Thank you so much. I think they're gonna be great. Let me know if they don't fit, and I'll exchange them for the right size. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. The worst Christmas gifts ever. This girl's dad had just gotten remarried to a woman who had 3 kids of her own. And it was the first Christmas they were all spending together. It was her dad, her new stepmom, and her 3 new step-siblings. Well, on Christmas morning, everyone was handed a gift, and the step-siblings opened theirs first. Oh my god, a new laptop. Oh my god, me too, I got a laptop too. Hey, a laptop. Yo, what's up? Now that her 3 step-siblings went, it was her turn to open her gift. And since her gift was shaped the same as theirs, she was assuming she was getting a laptop as well. So she opened it. I'm pretty sure I know what mine is. It wasn't a laptop. Instead, it was a $25 McDonald's gift card that her stepmom put in a laptop-shaped box. I know how much you love McDonald's. Alright everyone, enjoy your new gifts. This stepmom is the worst. So the person that shared this story said that his stepmom has always hated him. When he was younger, she would tell his dad to not bring him on family trips because he wasn't a part of their family. That's weird. Anyway, during the time that his dad was married to this woman, this kid was obsessed with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Well, on his birthday, he had asked his dad and his stepmom for tickets to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, as they were going to be in his town in mid-December. Fast forward to November, and he reiterated that he really wanted to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra in mid-December. Well, the day of the concert came and went. He obviously did not get to go. Fast forward a week or two to Christmas Day. He was opening up a gift from his stepmother. It was an extra-large t-shirt that said Trans-Siberian Orchestra on it.
Yeah, I took your dad to see the concert a couple weeks ago. I remembered that you loved this band, so we got you a shirt. Enjoy it.
You are a horrible woman. Did this guy do anything wrong? So the guy that shared the story said that he was on a business trip. The trip was over and he was at the airport to take a flight home to his fiancée. As he was waiting to board the plane, a Delta employee called him up to the stand. Hi, Carl. Yeah, what's up? So we overbooked this plane by a lot. Delta is offering you $2,000 if you skip this flight. Really? Let me just check with my fiancée. Hold on one second. Take your time. He looked out the window and he noticed the clouds getting pretty dark. He thought to himself, maybe the flight would get canceled anyway. I should take this money for sure. He called his fiancée, she didn't answer. He texted her, she didn't answer. So he made the decision on his own. He took that $2,000 and he booked another flight for the next day. Well, his fiancée was livid. She said she couldn't believe he would choose money over her. He tried to explain to her that the flight was gonna get canceled anyway, and she should be excited and happy that they have an extra $2,000 now, but she didn't care. She remained mad for a while. Did he do the wrong thing or was his fiancée being crazy? Let me know. The dumbest reasons people got in trouble at work. This guy was chilling at home when he got a call from a manager of a company. Hello? Oh, hello, Greg. He answers. Well, Greg, you didn't show up for work today, and honestly, I have had enough of your bullcrap. You are a disgrace to the Comcast company. You're ignorant, you're selfish, you're incredibly selfish, you waste all of our time. Your mother would be so disappointed in you, Greg. You can be quiet. What do you have to say for yourself? The call went on for a while, but the thing was, my name isn't Greg, and I definitely don't work at Comcast. I actually just started at Dairy Queen last week, but good luck to Greg, huh? Sounds like he's in big trouble. Okay, bye. God darn it. Can somebody get me Greg's phone number? I don't think I have it, but why don't you just ask him what his number is? He's sitting at his desk. Wait, he's here today? Yeah, it's his birthday today. He brought everyone donuts. I had like 3. Shit. The weirdest things kids have ever done. The person that shared this said that last year, as she was picking up her dog's poop in her backyard, she realized that her dog had pooped more, and some of the poops were looking very weird. She didn't think too much of it. Well, every day after that, for about 3 weeks, she kept noticing these weird poops in the yard. She was starting to get concerned. Was her dog sick? Why did some poops look normal and some poops look weird? She then called and made an appointment to take the dog to a vet. Well, a couple of days before the appointment, she was doing dishes in her kitchen. That's when she glanced out the kitchen window and noticed something strange happening in her backyard. It was her daughter, pooping in the yard. Those weird poops did not come from the dog. They came from her own kid. Turns out her daughter had been pooping in their backyard every day for weeks because she was scared of the bathroom. Yeah, I'm gonna need to cancel my dog's appointment. Yeah, bye-bye. Did this kid do anything wrong? This happened right before Christmas break. He was sitting in class. His friend was sitting right next to him and there was a girl sitting behind him. Throughout the class, he started getting whiffs of a fart smell. What in the world? But he ignored it because he assumed it would just probably go away. But then it got to a point where it was happening every 1 to 2 minutes. Oh God. Towards the end of the class, he whispers to his friend, "Yo bro, who the heck keeps farting? It's pissing me off, I can't focus." Dude, I smell it too. Right? Well, the girl sitting behind him heard this, and she immediately started crying. At this point, everyone is staring at them. The girl runs out of the classroom, and the teacher goes out there to see what happens. She told the teacher that she was embarrassed. Long story short, everyone knows she farted and cried about it, and now the dean wants to talk to them when they get back from Christmas break. Do you think he did anything wrong? Let me know. Hey bro, so I think I'm gonna ask Stacy to the dance. Bro, good for you, dude. You deserve it. But you might want to act quick because, look, no, they call me Mr. Suave. No, I'm kidding. But I am suave though. I'm super suave. Let's just say I lift about, 110 on a good day. You know what? I'm going up there. Hey Stacy. Oh hey Kyle, what are you doing? What are you doing here, loser? Stacy, quick question. Are you inflatable? No. Why? Oh, did you hear that, Chad? She's not your type. I only bought one of those dolls and it was a joke. Yeah, right. You're just saying that in front of Stacy because you hate me. Oh, no. I'm not saying I hate you. What I'm saying is if you were dying, I would unplug your life support to charge my phone. Stacy, you, me, dance Friday? What do you say? I will see you there. Bye, Stacy. The weirdest compliments people received. This woman was stopped on the street by a stranger. Hey, excuse me. Yeah? I just wanted to say that I love your cheekbones. You look like an elf. Thank you. This person also got a weird compliment. Hey bro, this is Jack. Hey, what's up, man? Jack, nice to meet you. I'm Carl. Oh man, what? Let me see that. You have an awesome left ear. Thank you, man. That's really nice of you to say. This girl was on a date. Hi, Steven, right? Stacy, you look different than in your pictures. Well, I hope that's a good thing. Oh, no, it's good. You look like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. But in a cute way, like a cute Gollum. And last but not least, have you ever been complimented by your dentist? Well, this dude has. Buddy, your oral cavity
is amazing to work with. There's so much space in here.
Oh, thank you.
An embarrassing middle school moment. When this kid was in 6th grade, he had this huge crush on one of his classmates, but she seemed to never notice him. Until one day, they were paired up to do a project together. She was sitting across from him, and they were actually having a great conversation. That's so crazy. That's my favorite show as well. I'm actually kind of excited to be working with you on this. Me too. Until all of a sudden, he had to sneeze. However, as he sneezed, a giant booger shot out of his nose and got stuck on his crush's forehead.
Wipe it off right now. Wipe it off.
And instead of wiping the booger off, he decided to play it cool and say, "No, wipe it off yourself." And he made her clean his booger off of her face. After that, she asked the teacher for a new partner, and she never talked to him ever again. We are here with Steve. And Steve is not a big fan of his grandma, especially around the holidays. Can you tell us why that is, Steve? Yeah, well, my grandma's a grade A hole. She would give me the worst Christmas gifts ever. One year, she gave us a VHS tape of the Bible. And this was in 2012, so no one still had a freaking VHS player, you know. I threw that away. Okay, what else? When I was 10, she gave me a guitar for Christmas, and then she made me pay her back for it the week after. Yeah, and I had to pay her back. Because she's a scary woman. I am so sorry, Steve. Anything else come to mind? Yeah, one year she gave me a gumball machine with expired candy in it. She kept the key to get the money out. She said that the money I used to put in there is payment for the machine. She would come and collect that money once a month. That is super petty. Craziest one yet was actually last year. She gave me a cooking pan, but there was still eggs in it from the last time she used it. I actually have a picture here. Is she still alive? No, thank God. This is pretty messed up. It was Christmas time, and on this particular year, this woman decided to skip her family's Christmas and go to her fiancé's family's Christmas instead. She loves her family Christmas tradition, but she decided it was only fair to try her fiancé's traditions. Let's call her fiancé Dan. Well, she went all out on gifts. She got amazing gifts for Dan's parents. She even got stuff for all of his aunts and uncles. After Dan's family opened up all of her gifts, it was her turn. And she was excited. She saw a big pile of gifts that were all for her. Those are all for me? That's so nice of you guys. Well, she opened her first gift. I have no idea what this is. Oh, it's a piece of coal. You've been naughty. She figured it was just a harmless prank. So she continued. Another piece of coal. Coal. You know what? I'm done. This is not funny to me at all. Dan, I skipped my own family's Christmas tradition for this? Sweetie, this is a long-term thing we do with any newcomer to the family. It's a harmless prank. Screw you. And she left. Did they apologize? No. Instead, they yelled at her for embarrassing Dan in front of their entire family. That's messed up to me. Delivery drivers' strange experiences. When this guy was in college, he worked at a grilled cheese sandwich shop as a delivery driver. And one day, he was taking a delivery to a fortune teller's place on the other side of town. Ah, yes. Come on in. He steps into her place and she's rummaging around looking for cash to pay him. He starts asking her questions. So, what's it like being a fortune teller? Oh, honey, it's my calling. I come from a long line of fortune tellers. My mom, my grandma, my great-grandma. Oh, so it's like a family business. And do you get a lot of customers? Oh, I do pretty well for myself, sweetie. I do pretty well. I'm the best in town. Ah, here. Ah, thank you. Have a great day. You too, Kyle. Have an amazing day. His name was actually Kyle. When he got to his car, he just sat there, confused, mind blown. How did she know his name? But then he looked down and realized he was wearing his name tag that said Kyle. This mom's plan backfired. One day, this mom overheard her daughter and her friends complaining about one of their teachers. The mom wanted to chime in. Hey girls! I overheard your conversation. I think I have an idea to mess with your teacher a little bit. She explained the plan, and the girls were in. They crushed up a bunch of laxatives, and they put them in cookie dough. They baked a bunch of cookies, put them on a plate, and the daughter left it on her teacher's desk with a note on it that said, "We made these just for you." Carla, you and your mom made these for me? That's so sweet. Yeah, we hope you enjoy them. Well, unfortunately, my doctor said I can't have sugar for the time being, so you know what? I'm gonna give these out to you guys. What? The teacher then passed these cookies out to all of the students in the class. Apparently, there was so much laxative in these cookies that it didn't take long for students to start feeling the effects. Oh God, oh God. Carla? Let's have a chat. Carla eventually cracked under pressure and spilled the beans. And Carla's mom was sentenced to 50 hours of community service. This kid ran a super weird business at school. My follower sent me the story about someone who went to his high school. Well, I guess one day he came to a realization that almost everyone is ticklish. Well, during lunch at the school, there was a classroom that no one used. It was the science room. There were no windows in this classroom either. Well, one day he told a bunch of people to come to the science room during lunch, and a bunch of people did. When they got to the science room, they saw this kid, and a giant sign that said, "Anyone that can be tickled for 2 minutes without squirming or laughing wins food." And in that room was a giant table with a bunch of food and snacks on it, and he charged a $10 entry fee if anyone wanted to do the challenge. Well, surprisingly enough, almost everyone accepted this challenge. People were paying this guy to tickle them, and if they could handle being tickled for 2 minutes, they would win a bunch of food from the food table. This went on for 6 months, and in total he made over $5,000. Well, one day, someone couldn't pass the challenge. They got mad and told the principal, and the principal shut him down. That's crazy. An awesome way to mess with someone. The guy that shared the story said that when he was 12 years old, he was sitting on a bench at Six Flags by himself, when suddenly an average-looking guy in his 20s comes up to him, looks him dead in the eyes and says, "You are going to remember me for the rest of your life." And he walks away. That kid is now 45 years old, and that random stranger was correct. He's thought about that moment every day since then. That's crazy. When this person was in 6th grade, he went to this small store by his house and bought a bunch of tiny food-shaped erasers, like these. He sold the erasers 2 for $1, and business was frickin' booming. He was making tons of money, and he kept buying more and more erasers, and he kept selling out. By the end of the year, he made over $1,000. What did he use that money for? He spent all that money on food for his family, and gave some of it to his grandma. Respect. Worst Christmas gifts ever. When this girl was 8 years old, it was Christmas morning and she was hanging out with her entire family. Her grandma hands her a gift. "This is to you from me." "I can't wait to open it, Grandma. Thank you so much." She opens it up and sees that it's a Christmas ornament. It's a little cherub with yarn hair and rosy cheeks. Well, this upset her very much. She cried because this was the exact same ornament she got for her grandma the year before, and she had to save her allowance up for weeks in order to get it. But apparently, her grandma didn't care. Black market skits ran in their schools, a subscriber submission. At this person's middle school, the lunchroom never served any sides with any of their meals. So if they were serving hot dogs, it was just a hot dog. Burgers, it was just the burgers. Pizza, just the pizza. Well, the kids at the school thought this was bogus. Every good lunch needs a side. So this guy had a brilliant idea. Every morning before school, he would heat up a bunch of French fries in his air fryer. And I'm talking a lot of French fries. He would then put them in an insulated pack so they stayed warm. And at lunch, he would sell them to other students. It was an immediate hit. Business was, you know what I'm gonna say, booming. On average, he was making $100 a day. This went on for weeks. You can imagine how much money he was making. One day the school found out what he was doing, but they didn't shut it down. They were impressed. So they gave him his own stand to run during lunch, where he would sell the fries that he made. All in all, he had made over $10,000. The bathroom is right there. Will you come in with me, Dad? Elliot, you're 13 years old. You can go to the bathroom by yourself, okay?
Why are you always here?
This dude accidentally ruined Christmas. The guy that shared this story has a wife and 2 young children. It was a couple days before Christmas and he was kind of groggy. He was partying with his neighbor the night before. Well, it was garbage day and he was taking out the trash. He went back inside through the garage and he noticed that there were 2 more big black garbage bags. So he took those out and threw them in the trash as well. The garbage truck came and that was that. Well, fast forward to Christmas Eve. His wife had asked him,
Hey Doug, have you seen the kids' Christmas gifts?
No, where did you put them last?
I had all of their gifts in a big garbage bag in the garage, but they're not there.
That's right. He had accidentally thrown away every single Christmas gift that was meant for his kids. And like I said, it was now Christmas Eve.
You better go out and figure this out.
Okay. Everything was closed, except for 7-Eleven. So what did he do? He bought a bunch of stuff from 7-Eleven. He brought that home and that's what his kids got for Christmas the next morning. To this day, those kids refer to that one Christmas as the year Santa forgot their gifts and instead brought them candy and lottery tickets. This story is crazy. The guy that shared this story said that he had a coworker, and one day at work, this coworker came in with some exciting news. I have some very exciting news. I got married. Oh, what? Bro, we didn't even know you were seeing anybody, but congrats. They were all confused because this guy was kind of strange and he wasn't very smart. But he showed them a picture of him and his new bride. Yeah, I got a picture right here. This is us on our wedding day. His coworkers were immediately suspicious. They thought he had made the entire thing up and photoshopped her in that picture. Well, not exactly. Turns out this dude met her online on some Russian bride website, and she immediately wanted to get married, so she moved to the United States and lived with him. But before long, she came up with some crazy story, had him arrested and committed to a psych ward. She cleaned out his bank accounts, sold everything he owned, and then disappeared forever. Eventually, this dude's mother and his boss worked together to get him released from the psych ward, and he came back to work, and they all pitched in money to buy him at least a few pieces of furniture. Crazy things teachers did. This teacher said he has a thing he does whenever he loses control of his class. He grabs a stapler and says, "Anyone want to put a staple in my hand? The physical pain would be nothing compared to how I feel right now, when all I want to do is help you guys reach your full potential, but you don't care." Somebody then usually doubts his seriousness and says, "Yeah, I'll put a staple in your hand." That's when he walks up to their desk, puts the stapler down, and puts his hand down and says, "Do it." The students usually give a nervous giggle and they pretend to do it, but they never do. Well, one day he did this little stunt again, and a student was like, "Yes, mister, I'll put a staple in your hand." He brings a stapler over, puts his hand down, and the student actually staples his hand. He didn't freak out or anything. He calmly looked at his hand, asked, "Did that really happen?" Pulled the staple out while blood trickled down, and he said, "Are we done? Can I go back to teaching now?" All the students were completely shocked. The kid that did it felt so bad that he stapled his own hand at the end of class.
তাই তুই কেন ফোন যায় না? তোমার নাম্বারটা তাড়াতাড়ি করে বলো।
ঘন্টার পর তো গার্লফ্রেন্ডের লেগে ওয়েট করতে পারো, আর বন্ধুর লেগে 2 মিনিট ওয়েট করতে পারবা না?
ও এখন আমার দোস্ত, তাইলে তো বন্ধু রিত লেগে গেল।
আরে বেটা এত লাফাইস না, যেরকম শুনতেছি পরীর মতো এরকম করলে তো বেটা।
বাদ দে, কালকে 4টা দেখা হবে।
ঠিক আছে মামা,
ঠিক আছে মামা,
ঠিক মতো যা।
হালা পারলাম না রে। আরে তোর তো হাওয়াটা হয়ে গেল। তুলি তুই তো সুন্দর নাম। আরে শুন, আমি জিসান, আই লাভ ইউ।
আপনাদের তো চিনলাম না। আমার বড় বোনের যে দেবরগুলো আছেন তো সবাইকেই চিনি, বাট আপনাদেরকে তো চিনি না।
যাইতে দে, আর আমার খালা লাগে। কোথায় বলতা? ভালোবাসা যে এত প্যারা, এত কষ্ট, এত জ্বালা যন্ত্রণা, জানলে ভালোই বাসতাম। জিসান আর তুলির ভালোবাসার ইতিহাস তাই রক্ত লাগবে।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম দুলা ভাই।
আরে শালা, ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। কি খবর, কেমন আছো? বান্ধবীও তো যায় না, এতবার ফোন দিলাম ফোনও ধরতেছে না। তুমি একটা ফোন দাও তো, ফোন বের করো।
কি বলেন দুলা ভাই, ও যায় নাই? কথা হইছে, ভাইয়া বলছে যে ভাইয়া আমাদের কোচিং এর সামনে আর আসবে না, আর তোকে ডিস্টার্বও করবে না।
কারণ না, কারণ না, আমি 1 থেকে 3 গুনবো না বাবা। প্রেম হইলেই হবে, প্রেম হইলে এমনি ডিস্টেন্স হবে বাবা। আমার খালি ওরে দরকার।
আমার নেক্সট আপকামিং 5টা প্রজেক্টের ফুটেজ ছিল এই ফোনটাতে। তোমরা এটা কেন করছো এই ফোনটার মধ্যে? ফোনটার মধ্যে আমার কত জরুরি জরুরি ফুটেজ ছিল। আমার
শোন, হোয়াট দ্য ফাক? এই আপনি কে এসব কি করছেন? আপনি দেখতে মানুষের মতো, আর ভূতের মাস্ক পরে ভয় দেখানো। হ্যাঁ, আমি কখনো তাকে দেখিনি, চিনিও না ইভেন। এই কে আপনি? হোয়াট দ্য হেল? আপনি জান?
হু আর ইউ? ওয়েট, বলছি একটা সেকেন্ড।
ম্যাক্স ভাই, স্যার নিজেও তো আপনার খুব ফ্যান দেখলাম।
ভাই একটা যদি সুযোগ দেন একটা সেলফি তুলে রাখ।
নো 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 নো
69/2 শঙ্কর গলিটা কোন দিকে?
শঙ্কর গলিতে আপনি পার্কের মধ্যে পাবেন না।
আচ্ছা পার্ক তো বুঝলাম, 3 নাম্বার গেটটা কোন দিকে পার্কের?
পার্কের 3 নম্বর গেট তো ওইদিকে।
সুবর্ণাপু আপনার বেবি কি হলো? সুবর্ণাপু আপনার বেবি, আল্লাহ কি হয়েছে?
তোমার জিনিসটা ঝামেলা আছে, ঝামেলা হচ্ছে যে সব নষ্ট হয়ে যাবে। প্যারাই না।
আর শোনো, টিন্ডারে ম্যাচ হওয়া মানেই কিন্তু আই এম নট রেডি ফর হুক আপ। আজ দেখা হবে, কাল ডেট হবে, আমি এরকম মেয়ে না।
যত সব ফেক আইডি, এতদিন ফেসবুকে সব ফেক আইডি দেখতাম, এখন বাস্তবে ঘুরে বেড়াও। যত সব যাবাক ফাজিল কোথাকার।
বলছিলাম না যে আপনারে আমার সেলফি তুলতে চাবেন না, তখন তো পাত্তা দেন নাই ভাই।
স্যার আমি তো খুবই সরি স্যার, নিজে তো আপনার বড় ফ্যান, একটা সুযোগ দেন, একটা সেলফি।
ওইটা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা দেখেন তো, এখানে তো তাই লেখা না, 3 নাম্বার গেট, আবার পার্ক, আবার শঙ্কর গলি, বুঝতেছি না।
3 নম্বর গেট ওইদিকে।
আমার কাছে জিনের বাচ্চার নাম্বার আছে। জিনের বাচ্চা
চাস নাকি ইটিস পিটিস করতে চাস?
হ্যালো বন্ধু, আমার রোদে দিছস? এই তো দিছি তো, ঠিক মতো রোদে দিছস?
কি শুনতে চান? আমি আপনাকে ভালোবাসি।
ভালোবাসা যে এত প্যারা, এত কষ্ট, এত জ্বালা যন্ত্রণা, জানলে ভালোই বাসতাম। জিসান আর তুলির ভালোবাসার ইতিহাস তাই রক্ত লাগবে দোস্ত।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম দুলা ভাই।
আরে শালা, ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। কি খবর, কেমন আছো? গলায় দড়ি লাগাই দিছে ভাবি।
গলায় দড়ি দিছে মানে গলায় কেন রেখেছেন আমাকে? কি হয়েছে বলতো?
আর বলিস না, তোরে যে বুকিং দিছে সে তো এখন আমার পিছনে লাগছে।
জিসান, আমার দরজা লাগাই দিছে। আমার দরজা লাগাই দিছে। কই যায়? কই যা? ফোন দিয়ে যেতেছি, ফোনই ধরো না, তোমার ফোন ধরার কোনো নামই নাই, কোনো কথা, তোমার ফোন ধরো না কেন?
এবারে এক্সামের প্রিপারেশন কি রকম তোদের? আমি তো খুবই এক্সাইটেড, কারণ আমার প্রিপারেশন খুবই ভালো।
জিসান দরজা খোল।
কি বুঝতেছি না।
Crazy things teachers did. This teacher said he has a thing he does whenever he loses control of his class. He grabs a stapler and says, "Anyone want to put a staple in my hand?" The physical pain would be nothing compared to how I feel right now, when all I want to do is help you guys reach your full potential, but you don't care. Somebody then usually doubts his seriousness and says, "Yeah, I'll put a staple in your hand." That's when he walks up to their desk, puts the stapler down, and puts his hand down and says, do it. The students usually give a nervous giggle and they pretend to do it, but they never do. Well, one day he did this little stunt again, and a student was like, "Yes, mister, I'll put a staple in your hand." He brings a stapler over, puts his hand down, and the student actually staples his hand. He didn't freak out or anything. He calmly looked at his hand, asked, "Did that really happen?" Pulled the staple out while blood trickled down, and he said, "Are we done? Can I go back to teaching now?" All the students were completely shocked. The kid that did it felt so bad that he stapled his own hand at the end of class.